Hello everyone, my name is Pallavi Garg. Today I am going to discuss about what is business communication. This subject is basically for BCom and BBA students. Now, discuss our first topic, that is what do you mean by communication? The word communicate comes from the Latin verb that is communicare. That means to impart, to participate, to share, or to make common. Following are the definitions given by the author. First one is communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. That is given by W.H. Newman. Second one is communication is the transfer of learning, understanding, and realization from one person to another or among persons. That is given by Peter Little. Third one is the process of passing the information and understanding from one person to another. That is given by Keith Davis. Now, understand the meaning of business communication. The term business communication is derived from journal communication, which is associated with the business activities. In other terms, communication between business parties or people for business related tasks is considered as business communication. Business communication is the process of sharing information between people within and outside a company. Different scholars have given different definitions of business communication. Few of them are mentioned below. According to W.H., business communication is exchanging business related different views, ideas, and news within the related parties. According to Professor J. Haste stated that when the communication occurs between either two or more than two business people for the purpose of effective organization and administration of business, then it is considered as business communication. Now, discuss the basic elements of business communication. The first element of business communication is sender, the second one is business information, the third one is receiver, and the fourth one is feedback. Now, discuss the process of business communication. The process of communication involves seven major elements that are sender, message, encoding, channel, receiver, decoding, and feedback. The first one is sender. Now, who the sender is? So, the sender or the communicator generates the message and conveys it to the receiver. He is the source and the one who starts the communication. Second element of the process of communication is message. So, the message is the idea, information, view, fact, feeling, etc. that is generated by sender and is then intended to be communicated further. Third element of business communication is encoding. The message generated by the sender is encoded symbolically, such as in the form of words, pictures, gestures, etc., before it is being conveyed. The fourth element of business communication is channel. How will you send your message? Communication is achieved through a channel. The channel can be a letter, an email, a fax, a telephone, or memos, reports, bulletins, posters, and manuals. The fifth element of process of communication is receiver. Receiver is the person who receives the message, decodes it and understands it or attaches some meaning to it is the receiver. Sixth one is decoding. It is the process of converting the symbols encoded by the sender after decoding the message is received by the receiver. The seventh element of business communication is feedback. Once the receiver confirms to the sender that he has received the message and understand it, the process of communication is completed. The eighth element and the last element of process of communication is noise. Noise basically refers to any obstruction that is caused by the sender, message or receiver during the process of communication. This is all about the process of communication. Now comes to the functions of business communication. The first function of business communication is communicating job functions to employees. The team members having clarity on expected job tasks and how they can contribute to achieving objectives of the organization by fulfilling their job functions, they can contribute more to the completion of their assigned task. The second function of business communication is providing adequate feedback. Providing timely and accurate feedback to employees and customers is also an important function of business communication. The performance of employees can be enhanced by providing regular feedback to them. The third function of business communication is convincing clients. Business communication is also often used to convince prospective customers, clients and business partners in order to finish a business deal or transactions. The fourth function of business communication is employee motivation for better decision making. Communication in businesses is used in a strategic form to enhance the decision making capability of employees related to their daily activities and for their long term objectives related to the business. The fifth function of business communication is building social bonds. Communication has a critical role in supporting employees to build a social circle or bond. When employees have a social bond with people whom they work with, their colleagues, supervisors, clients, etc., then their job efficiency improves as a team spirit also increases. Now comes to the objectives of business communication. The business communication has following objectives. The first objective is to exchange the information. We can exchange information with the help of business communication. Second one is to develop a plan. For developing a plan, business communication is important. The third one is to implement a plan. After development of a plan, the implementation of a plan is required. So, the objective of a business communication is to implement a plan. The fourth objective of a business communication is to facilitate policy formation. Business communication basically helps to facilitate policy formation. Fifth objective of business communication is to achieve an organizational goal. Basically, it will help to achieve the overall objective of the organization. Sixth objective of a business communication is to organize resources. Basically, business communication helps to organize the resources, basically those resources which are scarce. The seventh objective of business communication is to coordinate. Basically, business communication helps to coordinate among the different departments of the organization so that they can perform their task smoothly. Eighth objectives of business communication is to direct the subordinates. Basically, business communication helps to direct the subordinates who are working in a particular organization. Ninth objective of a business communication is to promote employees or to motivate employees. Basically, business communication helps to motivate employees who are working within the organization. The 10th objective of a business communication is to increase efficiency. The overall efficiency of the organization is improved with the help of business communication. Now comes to the importance of business communication. What are the importance of business communication? Basically, the business communication is important for three aspects. The first aspect is internal communication. Why it is useful for internal communication? The first reason is better coordination among various departments. Basically, the departments can work smoothly if the communication is effective. Second one is conducive work atmosphere. How it is useful or how it is important for external communication? The first reason is better relations with government and financial institutions. The second reason is it helps to increase the sales of the organization. The third reason is it also helps to improve the public image of the organization. And for an individual, how it is important? The first reason is an essential job requirement. Basically, the communication is everywhere in every sector, so it is essential for individual to get their job. Second reason is an important factor for promotion. If someone wants any promotion in the organization, so it is the basic requirement of the individual. Now comes to the essentials of good communication. The first one is clarity of information. It implies that first of all, the communicator must be clear in his mind with the information he wants to communicate. Communication should always be common and easily understandable language so that it may not be misunderstood by the persons receiving it. Second one is adequacy of message. The message to be communicated should be adequate and complete in all respects, since incomplete information turns out to be dangerous from the viewpoint of business. Third one is consistency of message. In relevance to internal business, a consistent message involves communicating the same message across all facets including departments. Fourth one is feedback. Feedback is an important method of ensuring effective communication. It refers to the confirmation of the idea communicated, whether the message has been understood by the receiver in the same sense in which the sender makes or sent. The fifth essential of the communication is understanding the receiver. Understanding is the main aim of communication. The communication must create proper understanding in the mind of the receiver. Sixth essential of business communication is to determine the medium. After having decided the subject matter, it should be determined as to how best this message is to be communicated. The seventh essential of the business communication is tone and content. The communicator must be careful about the language he uses while speaking or writing. His tone, expressions, and emotions will have a definite impact on the effectiveness or otherwise of what he is saying to communicate. The eighth essential of business communication is timing and timeliness. Proper attention should be given to the timing and timeliness of the communication. Moreover, it is also necessary that information should be given in time, as out of date information is as bad as or worse than none at all. The ninth essential of the business communication is listening. A very important aspect of effective communication is that executives and supervisors should be a good listener. The tenth and the last essential of a business communication is environment of trust and confidence. Every effort should therefore be made to win confidence by reporting facts honestly. Employees need to be convinced and feel that the company is truthful and sincere in its contacts. Now, the essentials of business communication is completed. In the next video, we will discuss about barriers of communication or 7 C's of communication. Till that, bye bye, take care, God bless you.